Sto is a global leader in the sustainable design of living spaces. We've been building with conscience for over 150 years, and it's the reason we have total confidence in our products, systems, and services. But how do our customers and partners feel? Building owners, architects, engineers, and applicators who are hands-on with our products every day. What do they think? These are their stories, their Sto stories, in their own words.
We're at the Madison condo. It's 2 twin towers, a little bit north of the immediate downtown of Miami.
One 17-story, one 22-story. Scope of work consists of exterior stucco facade restoration, delaminated stucco remediation, waterproofing, balcony repairs, railing replacement.
The project is a stucco on-frame construction,
which is a little different than your normal techniques that you would see down here. That consists of steel stud framing, which pretty much is the bulk of the structural portion of the wall. Exterior sheathing gets placed on the outside of that, followed with application of stucco.
It had significant cracking and water intrusion in the beginning, and quite a bit of concrete restoration to do on exterior balconies.
The project was pretty much plagued with water intrusion throughout the years, pretty much primarily for the past 10 to 12 years. A lot of water intrusion through the walls and exterior surfaces and facades.
In South Florida, when you have stucco on frame, you tend to get quite a bit of building movement, lateral movement with thermal movement and with wind and wind load, and you get cracking. Stucco being a rigid exterior cladding tends to crack. When it's applied to an assembly or wall assembly that tends to flex and move a little bit too much, you get more cracking. The cracking can lead to water intrusion.
The building had not had maintenance in over 20 years. So the building was in pretty bad shape. You know, the inside of the units, I mean, it was really bad. Mold, stains, water, floors, bubbling up and all of that. And the owners were extremely frustrated, especially in those lines that we had the most water intrusion. We did have 2 lines that it was from top to bottom, had water coming in every time it rained. Every time it rained, I would come in and did not want to answer the phone. But they were very excited that we were actually addressing the issue, and also excited that the facade of the building was going to look totally different. It was not a major intrusive work for the owners. We never had to come into the property, to the unit, to do anything inside. The board that is currently in place right now, all they want is to better the community. We chose Sto because it was the best that we could have chosen.
Balcony restoration is extremely common in South Florida, obviously because of the corrosive environment that has to do with being so close to the coast. What happens is the reinforcing steel inside the concrete gets obviously corrosive elements that get down into it, causes the existing steel to actually expand and break the concrete out around it. Removal of the delamination or the spalling, cleaning of the steel to remove any kind of corrosive elements or any kind of rust or debris that are still remaining on it. Coating with an anti-corrosion and bonding agent, which prevents spalling in the future.
We're in probably about the harshest environment in the United States down here. We have obviously hurricanes, but we have a lot of wind-driven rain, tropical storm, and a lot of water and moisture.
We have rain almost every single day from June until October.
That coupled with intense UV, it tends to break down paint coatings more often. So compared to up north, you have usually a cycle of about 8 to 10 years on these buildings when they need to get back on them and do additional concrete restoration type work.
Sto products that we use were pretty vast on this project. We used a lot of exterior facade. We used RFP coating, which is an acrylic-based coating that's applied on the exterior over the stucco. As far as structural repairs, we use Sto 311 full-depth repair mortar on the majority of the balcony repairs that we've done, followed with overhead repair mortar. We've used StoPowerwall stucco for their exterior stucco repairs where the areas were delaminated, and Sto anti-corrosion and bonding agent for all the steel preparation for the reinforcing steel inside the concrete slabs or the structures that we're restoring.
Nobody else is doing anything like RFP and mesh. It's really taken off. Locally, I probably have about 3 million square feet installed. So I have a vast repertoire of past projects I can point to as successes.
It's an exterior coating. It has a mesh embedment into the first coat, which provides a lot of flexibility and prevents blistering and cracking. It hides a lot of stucco repairs, which is very difficult to do. Working on existing buildings, obviously it's very hard to match textures that were done 30 or 40 or 50 years ago. So applying the Sto RFP gives you a nice, clean, smooth finish on the exterior and hides all the repairs.
We let that dry, then we come back in the next day and we put on what we call a kiss coat or a sweet coat of the same material without the mesh, so that then it can receive the next step, which was a high-performance Sto paint coating system, which involved a full-body high solids primer and the top coat material, which is a high-performance exterior acrylic paint coating.
Commonly, when you're doing stucco repairs on the exterior, you get a checkerboard pattern because it really is very hard to kind of blend and to match to existing finish. So it really makes the building look brand new at the end of it.
The owners are not frustrated anymore, they're very happy.
A lot of unit owners that have been plagued with water intrusion and a musty, moldy smell in their unit for 10 plus years thank the board for moving forward with doing the project the correct way this time. They were definitely very pleased with the overall outcome of it.
Sto for us has been a lifesaver. It really has. It's made my life as a property manager much easier. From what it looked like before to what it looks like now, it's night and day. Night and day, completely different. Now a hurricane can come and I'm not gonna be home crying.